Okay, the recording has started. Who am I speaking with?
Delina with the Department of Children's Services.
Delina, what is your last name?
Dominguez.
Dominguez. Can you please spell that for me?
Dominguez.
All
And
right,
what is your name, sir?
my name is Phillip Fetters.
Okay, perfect. So Mr. Fetters, I'm just calling with basically a concern was reported to the department, and the allegation is domestic violence. And I was wondering if we could get together, and I do need to do a home visit. I already saw the kiddos today
Oh, I've
at
heard.
school.
So let me
Sorry?
ask you. I have a very serious question here
Yes, sir.
because I was still sitting in court until noon today without even so much as a final order from a judge at noon. And Miss Rogers received a call at 1:08 p.m. with these allegations. So how is it you made it all the way? I'm assuming your office is what, Lenore City?
No, sir. I'm located in Morgan County.
You're located in Morgan County. When did Morgan County get a DCS office?
They've had one for years. It's with the
Oh,
DHS office as
Wartburg.
well.
Wartburg.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when did you visit the school? What time?
This morning.
What time this morning, ma'am?
I don't remember exactly the time. It was maybe around 9 a.m.
Around 9 a.m. So you went. Was the children's guardian at Litem present during this questioning?
No.
No. So you went and questioned my children without their attorney present, and enacted a confession, most likely using leading questions, which is what's in your DCS manual to do. So, what exactly was the nature of questioning that you questioned my 6-year-old with to enact this confession?
Your 6 year old being
Yes, ma'am. My 6-year-old, the one
okay.
I'm referring to.
So, the type of questions that we ask the kids when we go to see them are very simple questions. They're not leading at all. It's questions like, "Hi, how are you doing? How's school going? Do you like your teachers? What's your favorite part of your day?" Um,
And from those questions, my son blurted out, "My dad beat the crap out of my mom." You're telling me from those questions that I'm supposed to believe that my son told y'all that he witnessed me beat the crap out of his mother, even though that's never occurred, for one. And for two, don't you think during the ex parte temporary order of protection hearing that would have come out, as well as in the emergency custody hearing, that would have come out in testimony from the mother that I had physically assaulted her? Yet that didn't come out in testimony in either case. Yet somehow asking my son how his day was and if he liked his teacher, somehow you were able to enact that confession out of him. Do you understand where this doesn't make much sense? How
sir,
does "do you like your teacher" translate into that? Because I'm going to be completely facetious with you. Your department committed fraud against my family last year. Committed absolute fraud.
I hate to hear that. I'm sorry.
That they were claiming they were making home visits that they weren't making. They were writing false reports, which I hold in my hands. I have all of your false reports. The only reason I didn't file a Title 1983 against the Department of Children's Services for fraud is because I didn't even want to bother with this court system anymore. And here we are again, less than a year later, and I have DCS at 9 a.m. on the morning that I'm going to have a hearing to even see if this is official. You're already at my son's school without his counsel present and pulling him out of his class at 9 a.m. How do you think that affected the rest of my son's day?
I can't tell you how it affected the rest of his day.
I can tell you exactly how it affected the rest of his day. He definitely wasn't able to effectively learn in that school environment.
Hmm.
I can tell you that's exactly what happened. Do you believe that it's appropriate to pull a 6-year-old out of class at 9 a.m. for an interrogation on what, their second day of school? That's what your department deems appropriate? Based on what? Because there was no anything in any of these court orders that you had received previously about any kind of violence occurring. So I'm curious as to what question was asked of my son that enacted this alleged confession, Miss Dominguez.
Sir, so unfortunately, I think you have it all mixed up because I don't have a court order in my possession. All I have is a report that states a concern, and us as DCS workers, we are required to meet with children,
Okay.
and
And you're
we
also
are
required to give me
required.
those reports. So I'm going to need you to email that report to legal@solartechoffgrid.com.
So
As
I
well as any
cannot.
case summary reports you can, ma'am. Any case summary reports filed by this department, if I have to get Commissioner Quinn involved to get them, I will get the case summary reports. There's a reason why I have the case summary reports from last time,
Sir, you're
because
more
this
than
department's been
welcome
found
to.
guilty of fraud.
You're more than welcome to ask Commissioner Quinn for whatever you feel you need to, or my supervisor even,
Who
but
is
I
your
cannot
supervisor, by the
freely.
way?
My supervisor, Miss Morgan Queen.
Morgan Queen.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that spelled as it would be, Queen?
Yes, sir.
And what's her phone number?
I can get that for you. One second.
So you're telling me you don't have so much as a court order, yet you, off of report, instead of just doing a home visit, you thought it would be more appropriate to go question my child at his school without counsel present.
We are
That's
allowed to
what
do
you
that,
deemed
sir.
more. I'm sorry, what's that?
We are allowed to do that, sir. Yes. We
You,
are
you,
allowed to
you're
meet
allowed
with
to
the
interview my
children.
children without their counsel present. Are my children legally able to waive their rights?
So we are allowed
No,
to go into
no,
schools
no,
and
ma'am. I,
as
I asked you
initial
a question.
visits see
Are
our
my children
children.
at 4 and 6 years old legally able to waive their rights?
Sir, I'll be happy as well to send to you. Um, it is code 37-1-406, and
I'm
it
sorry, what was
states
that?
that
Three
private
seven. Hang on, what was that code?
37-1-406.
Okay.
Yeah, and that explains to you that the school shall give the child protective team access to records in the custody proceedings to the children
Access to records. Access to records. Not access
and
to
the
children,
children.
access to records of custody proceedings.
And we are required to interview. It states in that same document that we are required to interview and physically observe the children who are subjective of an investigation. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you're required to physically interview them with their
Yes, sir.
counsel present. There's a reason why a
It,
guardian ad litem is assigned to a case. They're
it
special
does.
counsel for the children so that situations like this, their rights do not get violated because
So it
children
does
have
not
rights.
state in this document that their guardian ad litem has to be present.
You're correct, but the federal government also doesn't give state agents acting under color of the law permission to interpret the laws.
So I am happy to send this to you as well if you'd like.
Yes, please. It's legal, legal, at Solartech, SolarTechoffgrid.com. Because as stated,
I'm sorry,
we
legal
were,
at Solar Tech. Sorry, I was
yes,
trying to spell that
Solartech
right.
is Solartech off, grid.com. The department has that email address. We've sent quite a bit of correspondence. Is Sean Morgan still the state's attorney for the Department of Children's Services?
I'm not sure who the
You don't
state
know who the
attorney
state's attorney
is.
is currently?
No, I know who my attorney is for this area,
Okay, who's your attorney for this area?
Miss Erin Ball
Aaron, Aaron, or Erin?
with an A.
Aaron and Ball, Ball.
Yes.
Alrighty. And do you happen to have her? I never even got Morgan Queen's number from you. If you
Yes.
could just include the contact information for these individuals in that email address or in that email you're sending over.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Okay. And just for full transparency in this matter, moving forward, if you are going to interview my children, they are to have counsel present. I will not deal with false allegations from state agents acting under color of the law. I will not deal with false allegations. There will be somebody there for transparency. And I'm going to purchase body cameras for my children. And any interviews that are conducted, those children are to be wearing those body cameras during that interview. For full transparency with this department, who has already committed fraud against my family. And I'm sure you can completely understand, given the circumstances and the amount of trauma that my children sustained last year at the hands of Department of Children's Services, the reason that I say that.
I can't say that I do just because I haven't done,
Are you fairly new to the department, Delina?
I'm not, but I haven't done the research yet through the TFAC system. I'm just calling about this case in particular and trying to set up a meeting with you to meet with you and talk about your history and just kind of
I'll
the
tell you
way
what,
forward.
when you come over, I'll have the TFAX reports, all the fraudulent TFAX reports ready for you to read. There's one from July of 2024 that says that I was arrested for violently beating Anastasia. Mind you, the report was filed in July. I was arrested in October 2024 for violently beating Anastasia. But that's on a report from July 2024. So unless your agents can see the future, how is it possible that that happened? You see where I'm talking about fraud being very apparent with this department?
I understand, and I'm sorry that that happened to you. I really
I mean,
am.
the fact that the Department of Children's Services here in Tennessee is already under scrutiny with the state, and you guys have more children in foster care than you could possibly ever take care of, and you have children sleeping in DCS offices because you don't have homes for them. I'm going to go ahead and be 100% transparent with you. I have read your entire manual front to back. I know how your home visit computer manual works. I know that 17 of the 21 qualifications require an in-home visit. I know the ins and outs and operations of this department because this department has committed fraud against my family. And that's the reason that this phone call is being recorded. And that's the reason for the line of questioning of why are you at the school at 9 a.m. questioning my son when the hearing hasn't even taken place yet? I wasn't even seated in a courtroom for this hearing to take place, yet you're already interrogating my son. And from asking him questions, according to you, of how's your day going, buddy? How do you like your teacher? Somehow that turned into, because those are the same questions magically that they stated last year, the same line of questioning. But then when I ask my children what they were asked, the questions that they told me they were asked were completely different. Were completely different. In fact, the questions that my children were asked were 100% leading, because children don't just come out with things like that. They don't come out with things like that unless an adult puts it in their head. Because my son has never witnessed anything of that sort. Has never witnessed anything of that sort. There have been verbal altercations in my house, yes, absolutely, and that's been proven time and time again in court. But physical assaults by me on their mother, absolutely not. Absolutely not, ma'am. I love that woman with all my heart. The last thing I would ever do is put my hands on her. I don't care if she hits me, I still will not put my hands on her. I exercise that self control. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. I'm combat trained. I am not going to put my hands on a female that weighs all of 115 pounds.
Well, sir, thank you for your
So
service.
for these allegations to be coming out before I even walk out of a court hearing with a final order and without my child's attorney present, there's a lot of red flags to raise. I'm sure you can understand. So, Ms. Dominguez, I am absolutely willing to meet with you in person. You are welcome to come to my house either Thursday morning or Friday morning of this week, whichever works best for your schedule. And we will have a sit down and we can discuss whatever you would like to discuss. I will put these key fact case summary reports in front of you so that I can explain to you which ones are fraudulent or which ones are actual. And you should probably be in contact with Sean Morgan too, because he can verify that fraud did in fact take place on the case. And to my knowledge, those TFAX reports were supposed to be getting deleted from the Tennessee system because they were fraudulent.
So I can't speak towards that just because I haven't looked yet at the
So,
history. Normally, what I do is I receive a report from the hotline, and then I first try to see the kids. Then I make an appointment to see the parents, do a home walkthrough, and kind of go from there. So
okay, well,
I'm
let
not
me
at
stop you
any
there. Let
place.
me stop you there. So you're telling me your start of an investigation is not to look into the previous cases or anything, but to first go interrogate children with no knowledge of the situation, and then after the fact, then finally look back into the history of the situation and
Sir,
go from
so
there.
I try to go into every case with an open mind and a non-biased approach. I honestly try to focus on the summary and the report from the hotline that I receive and the allegations that are at that moment a concern. I do most definitely look at the history, but I try for it not to be the very first thing that I do because I don't want to go in with the history in mind and make any kind of biased decision. I want to hear what the parents have to say, what the kids have to say, and what the allegations are for this specific thing. Um, that's just the way I operate. Um, I also, like I said, meet with the parents and talk to the parents about everything. I'm not going in and saying that there is domestic violence going on in your home. What I'm saying is I received a summary from the hotline that states that the allegation is domestic violence and that you are the perpetrator, and that I try to just meet with everybody, get everybody's story, and just go from there.
Oh, okay.
Every
So you're
case looks
telling me
different.
that did you enact this alleged confession from my son or not?
Nobody confessed anything.
Well, when you called his mother at 1:08 p.m. today and told her that Jackson said that I beat the crap out of her, that would be enacting a confession, an alleged confession from my son. That, and it's funny because last year when my children were 2 and 4 years old and could barely talk, DCS was able to dictate full on blown conversations that they had with my 2 year old that wasn't even verbal, that their mother beat them with a spatula. So explain to me how a child that's nonverbal and who's asked basic questions like, "Oh, how's your day going, honey?" Explain to me how that turns to, "Oh, mom beat me with a spatula," even though that never happened. And now we have some alleged enacted confession that even though I've never put my hands on my wife,
Again, it's an
allegedly that's what my
allegation.
6 year old told you guys after you ask him, "Hey, buddy, how's your day going? Do you like your teacher?" So that tells me that there was a further line of questioning that you're being quite facetious about.
Well, if honestly, sir, you're not letting me talk. I have a whole list of questions that I'm more than happy to show you when I go and meet with you all. Some of the questions that we ask are, hi, my name's Delina. I work with the Department of Children's Services. Do you know what that is? And then if they say no, like we explain, like my job is to make sure that kids are safe in their homes and at school. Can you tell me what like safe means to you? And then we go, we talk about school, we talk about their likes, their dislikes, that kind of stuff. So there's a whole list of stuff that you can kind of like a guideline that you can go off of and talk about. For example,
Okay, let me ask you this. How long was this line of questioning going on with my 6 year old? Because this is a lot of questions already that you've mentioned. So we're looking at just in those few questions, at least 30, 45 minutes you would have been talking to my 6 year old to even get to this. So, how long do you have my child pulled out of his class where I take him to get an education to interrogate him?
So, first of all, I was not interrogating. We were having a conversation. He was very happy. He was excited to tell me about school. He was excited to tell me about his teacher and about his little sister starting school and how funny she is. I don't know the exact time. I did see multiple kids that day or this morning back to back, but I was at the school today from about 9 a.m. to about 11 or 12.
So about the amount of time that we sat in the courtroom today. So
Yes,
while his
I
parents were in court
saw
and a
multiple
guardian at
kids.
Litem had not even been assigned to the case yet, the Department of Children's Services was already at the school interrogating my children. That's all I needed to know.
So we
Which
were
works
not
best for you, Thursday or
interrogating.
Friday, ma'am?
So like I said, it was an interrogation. We were just having conversation, but I had talked to your spouse about coming on Thursday at 9 a.m.
So did you or did you not call Anastasia at 1:08 p.m. today and tell her that Jackson said that I beat the crap out of his mom?
I said that one of the allegations was that you beat his mom up. Yes.
Was this an allegation from your report or an allegation from my son?
It was something that was said to me while I was at the school. Yes.
That's interesting. All right, Mr. Dominguez. So at this point in time, what day would you like to do a home visit? I have Thursday morning or Friday morning available. Which one works best for you? And I'll be available for it.
As I stated just a minute ago, I had talked to your spouse about being there at 9 a.m. on Thursday, but if that doesn't work for you all, I'm
9
happy
a.m.
to
Thursday
accommodate.
works. 9 a.m. Thursday works just fine with me. I will make myself available for this.
Okay, sounds great.
Is there anything else that you need from me? I believe through this 20-some minute long conversation that we've had at this point in time, I've got about all the answers that I need. Um, do you have any more plans of going up to the school and pulling my children out of their classrooms? Because if so, I'm going to go withdraw them from school right now and I will homeschool them. Because I will not have my children interrogated at their school where I send them to learn. And I especially will not have my children interrogated at their school without counsel present.
Sir, I understand that you're upset. I really
No, I'm
do.
not even upset,
And
hon. I'm not even upset.
no,
Believe me,
but I really
you will know
don't.
if I'm upset. I promise you, you will know if I'm upset. I am being
I
very calm and
really,
professional with you right now. I am stating that this department has committed fraud against my family in the past, just about 6 months ago. It hasn't even been that long. And here we
it's
are
fresh.
again dealing with similar fraudulent situations. Because
So
while
I
I'm sitting in
really,
court, I've got an agent before an order has even been handed down by the judge. I have an agent interrogating my son without even so much as a court order from a judge.
I just really don't appreciate because I have not interrogated anybody. Like I stated before, we receive hotline summaries that with cases that we are supposed to respond to. We
So was
have a
this a
response
hotline
time.
summary? This was a hotline then. So
Every case that comes in through the department goes through the hotline. The caseworkers receive hotline summaries with allegations, and we are supposed to go out and investigate them. I am
oh,
just doing the steps that I need to do. I am not by any means trying to interrogate anybody. I'm just trying to get the full story. If
well, if you're pulling my
nothing
son out of class to question him without his attorney present, then that's an interrogation. You can call it questioning. You can call it whatever you want. It's an interrogation. If you are attempting to enact a confession out of somebody, that is interrogation. That is interrogation.
we're just gonna have to agree
If
to
the words
disagree,
that they
sir.
are using are going to be used against their parents, that is an interrogation. So I'm going to go ahead and end this phone call. I will see you Thursday. If you would, please send me over that alleged report that you guys got that you're down there at the school talking to my children about that apparently came in on a hotline, but was originally a report from the court, but now it came in on a hotline.
No, no,
So
no.
no, ma'am, no, ma'am. This
It's
call is
not.
being recorded for
Oh,
transparency. It's being
oh,
recorded for
it is.
transparency.
It
So you've
is,
already said that
but
it came
it's
from the
not.
court, and now you're saying it came from the hotline. So, Ms.
I
Dominguez, you
never
have a great
said.
afternoon. I will see you Thursday morning. If you need anything else from me, feel free to give me a call. Aside from that, you have a great afternoon.